You're listening to the Level Up Lounge podcast.
Level up.
Level up.
Level up.
Level up.
Level up.
Level up.
You're listening to the Level Up Lounge podcast. Welcome to the Level Up Lounge episode number 4. I am really excited to be doing this episode. We have a lot of cool stuff coming at you. Before we get to everything, though, I want to let you guys know about a cool Facebook Live video that we're going to be doing on our Facebook page with Nick Doherty. So we're going to be talking to Nick, and a lot of you guys may be familiar with him. He was on episode 2 of our podcast, but he's been all over the martial arts world. And we're going to be talking with Nick about using systems in your martial arts school to simplify everything so that you can focus on getting new students and keeping the students that you have. So we'll have more information coming up within this next week of exactly when the Facebook Live video is going to be. In the meantime, make sure you go to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/levelupmymusic. So again, that's facebook.com/levelupmymusic. Make sure you like our page, and that will help to make sure that you're kept in the loop of what we have going on. The other thing that you want to do is if you're listening to this podcast and you love it, please click subscribe and give us a rating too. Leave us a rating, whether it's 1 star and you hate our podcast or 5 stars. We love to see all that feedback. Now on to today's show. We have an awesome guest. His name is Michael Bernoff. I had the pleasure of being at the Martial Arts Business Summit, which is hosted by Perella Consulting. He is one of the featured speakers there. Last year, he was voted the best speaker of the entire summit. So we're excited to have him on the show today. And he's going to be covering more of the business side of your martial arts school. He's helped mentor tons of different businesses, and the past few years has been really focusing on martial arts schools. He has a wealth of knowledge to share with you guys today on that. And even if your main focus is teaching martial arts and passing on your knowledge to everyone, if you know the business side of your martial arts school and how to operate things and how to be a salesperson, you're going to be able to spread that knowledge to more people. And whether we like it or not, I know our passion is teaching martial arts, but it's important that we know the business side of it as well. So he's going to share some great insight on that. And then also we're going to get into our triple kick segment. Triple kick! Where we're going to be reviewing 3 awesome products. So the 3 products we're focusing on in this podcast. First one is the Hykso wearable punch trackers. So Century Martial Arts was super nice and sent out a pair of those for me to test out. And I'm going to let you guys know what I think of that. Then also we have Combat Corner send us their C2 boxing gloves. And I've been using these for the past 3 to 4 weeks. And using them a ton, and I'm going to let you know what I think of them. And then lastly is Chris Casamassa's B90Z birthday party system. So if you run birthday parties at your martial arts school, and maybe you've heard of B90Z, but you don't really know what it is, we're going to go into it a little bit more and sort of give you our experience with it. But next, I just want to shut up. I want to get into our interview with Michael Bernoff. So without further ado, let's sit in on our interview at MABS with Michael Bernoff. Here with Michael Bernoff. So for our listeners, can you just give us a little bit about your background in case they haven't heard of you for some crazy reason?
Yeah. I'll tell you, probably the best way to put what it is that I do, being in business for myself for about 20 years right now, is my background is in a very interesting art. Like, I mean, being in the martial arts world, everyone's got their different arts, and we're here at a summit right now, at the Martial Arts Summit. And what's so unique about it is there's people with like different arts. There's people that are here, Krav Maga, people that are Taekwondo, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And for me, it's really one art with 7,000 different things. I have been studying and learning the art of communication. Like when you talk with somebody, what triggers, what goes off in their body, what happens. And I don't mean literally like communication in college. I mean literally the strategic things to influence yourself and others, to lower resistance, build rapport, and have a ton of fun doing it. So my background, if you're ever dealing with people, is to make it easier, make it more effective, and a lot more profitable for people.
That's awesome, man. Listening to your seminar just this weekend, you gave like the most subtle little thing that I've never even thought of about communicating, and it was just sort of fading out the last syllable of the word when you're asking questions. And when you said it, like something just clicked in my head, and I was like, that's genius. And it's the smallest thing, but it makes such a huge difference.
It's a subtle thing. Like if you say your name real quick, just say your full name. Let me hear your full name.
Adam Kiefer.
Adam Kiefer. And when you say it, the way you said it, it sounds like you're questioning. And when you sound like you're questioning yourself, and it sounds silly, right?
Oh, sure.
You don't even mean through it. Like, hi, I'm Michael Bernoff. And it's like, it sounds like I'm asked, did you hear that? Hi, I'm Michael Bernoff. And it sounds like I'm asking a question. Literally, you can't see this right now because you're listening. I'm looking up to left, like, hi, I'm Michael Bernoff. And that's a questioning mode. Now watch the same thing. Hi, I'm Michael Bernoff. And when you drop it down, you enter into the part of someone's brain where they instantly put you in a category, whether it's a Martin Luther King, a Gandhi. We're here, Michael Perella's a huge leader here.
Sure.
Anyone who's a leader will say, hi, I'm Michael Bernoff. And we drop the last syllable, hi, you need to do this. And there's no question, it becomes a command. And that little subtle thing is why people say, like, have you ever heard anybody say, man, I don't know what it is about them, the way they speak. Our parents talked about John F. Kennedy, our parents talked about Martin Luther King and stuff. Like, what did they do that was so great? Oprah Winfrey is a master of this. She doesn't mean to. It's natural to her. Anyone with charisma, anybody with power, drops the last syllable. And anyone can do it listening right now.
Now, did you have to practice that, or is that natural for you too?
I did it naturally. Somebody brought it out. I mean, the study of the stuff I do is like, I'll just put it blank. I mean, if I can be really blunt, here's the deal. Shit that works.
Yeah.
You know, people that do things that work. And this is something that works for me. And so when I started studying neurolinguistic programming, I invented my own science called human interaction technology. It's about finding what works that people do that make them very, very effective, modeling it, borrowing it, using it, keeping it, and making it better. So when you see somebody do a crazy move, like, I remember being a kid watching Karate Kid. He did the crane kick. I mean, you got to tell me you tried that, didn't you?
All the time.
You tried. I mean, of course you did.
That was my movie growing up, man.
You remember that? I mean, you were probably about a similar age. So we watched, Karate Kid, and it's like, I want to be able to do that move. So when you see somebody do something really well, you borrow it, you adopt it, you integrate it, and you make it better. That's really, if you ask what I really do, now that dummy's not what I really do.
All right, awesome. Well, that was an illegal kick to the face that won that tournament, right?
Absolutely. And what's funny, he got busted before. He got busted. Oh, illegal contact. And I don't know why didn't he get illegal contact? Hit him right in the nose. And then why didn't he bleed? Because that shot to the nose should have been something, right? It's funny you and I noticed that.
Yes, that's very true. Now, last time I was with you was at the Martial Arts Nucleus event.
Yep.
We were in a car ride, and I asked you a question. You gave me an answer that completely changed how I was doing stuff. So I asked you about self-awareness and sort of how you look at self-awareness. And the answer that you told me sort of made me go back. I went immediately back to the hotel room, started making a list of what I'm good at, what I'm really weak at and need to improve, and was just completely honest with myself. And it completely changed the way, not only that I thought about things, but the way that I did my business too.
Got it. Self-awareness is everything. I mean, like literally noticing when you do something, how it affects you, how it affects other people. I would tell you that, I even read a book on it years ago. The book was called Self-Awareness, but that's not how I learned it. It's self-awareness is everything. I mean, most of us, just use this test for an example. Go out to dinner, go to eat something. And before you eat it, take a peek at it, look at it, see what you're even putting in your mouth. Most people, that food shows up at the table, they grab the fork, they jam that crap in their mouth, and they look like an animal. You know what I'm saying? If you're aware, you can, people could lose weight out of self-awareness. And I think we talked about this in the car. We were talking about nutrition. Remember that? It was it was August. We were talking about nutrition. The gentleman that was there.
We were talking about Chris's
new business, right?
Yeah.
Did he get that launched?
I know he showed me logos and stuff, so I think he's working on it.
It looked amazing what he was working on. Great guy, too. I remember we were driving back.
He's awesome.
In a Range Rover or something like that. We were driving home in or some SUV.
Yes,
and,
it was nice.
And real nice car. And what was interesting was self-awareness. Like, if you want to get in better shape, it's all about awareness. I'll give you just a quick scenario, because you here have, gym owners, there's students, there's people that love the industry. Health is a big issue for people. And I've taught people how to change your diet instantly without changing your diet. And here's a little simple technique. I always say, number one is, you should talk to your food. Like, you should know what it is before you put it in your mouth. Like, know what it is. But most people are not aware. They call all food food. So they're like, McDonald's is food, Burger King is food, fine dining is food, and a really healthy meal at home with no salts and extra crap on it is still food. And so is a smoothie. Well, you can't call it all food. It gets confusing. Just like not all martial arts is the same. Some is like really fun foo-foo stuff, and others is like Krav Maga, like I'm really here to harm you. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to harm you. Like kickboxing and Krav Maga, radically different.
Sure.
One is I'm going to inflict pain, and the other one is like I'm going to get in better shape. So how smart is this idea? I always said divide food into 3 categories. One is nutrition, one is entertainment, and the other one is addiction. So if I invite you over to my house tonight, we have broccoli, and we have a broccoli, and you have some sort of protein, and you have some, let's start there. Would you consider that nutrition? It's healthy, right? But let's say we go out to dinner, like we go to a nice restaurant. It's got some sauces and stuff on it. That's not addiction, but it's also not nutrition either.
It's entertainment.
It's entertainment.
Sure.
And then addiction is like your whole bag of Doritos. So when you go to the movies, you got to own it. Like I had 5 bites of popcorn. That's okay. I'm entertaining myself. Half a bowl, maybe entertaining myself, the whole bowl and a refill. Addiction. And if you notice this about you in about a week or two, you'll turn around and you'll say to yourself, wow, I've had way too much of the thing I shouldn't be doing. So long story short, awareness is everything and knowing how to control ourselves.
Great. Now, I know you've been in the martial arts world a little bit more the last few years. What would you say is, like, talking to school owners, one of the biggest things that's stopping them from being successful?
I'm going to talk about it tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about it tomorrow, but I'll tell you about it right now. Number one is their own limitations. I'm going to tell you, you love what it is you do. I mean, are you passionate about martial arts?
Love it.
Love it. Like, how much do you love it?
It's like my life.
What do you love more, building a business or love martial arts? And you want to think about that right now. Tell the truth, which is the answer.
At this point in my life, building a business.
Okay, great. But was there a time it was martial arts?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
They're in love with what they do, and they think their passion is going to make profit, and it's never going to make profit. Turning your passion into a business and separating two things. What you do as a martial artist and being a genius, 9th degree black belt, upside down jiu-jitsu master with a rhinoceros horn, whatever it is that, like, NATO commander, whatever it is, like, whatever you do, you have to separate the two things. So one of the things that I know that you and I both have learned, working with Michael here, is that you have to separate those two things and also understand that getting people to your business is really what your business is about. And what most people do is they're really concerned about being great at what they do. I will tell you that building your business and being less talented at martial arts and building a business will impact more lives, because you can always get better later at your art.
Sure.
Yet, if you're already naturally good at what you do, stop worrying about getting better at it. Work on your craft, still practice, still get better, but really put as much initiative into the learning how to build a business. So it's not just about how good your jump kick is, not how great your roundhouse kick is, not about how many push-ups you can do. You still want to do that stuff. How many calls can you make? How many sales can you do? How many people can you talk to? How much can you influence people? How much of a leader are you? Spend as much energy being a businessman or woman as you do being a martial artist, and you'll become more effective and affecting the community more, and at the same time make a lot more money.
Yeah, you can't spread martial arts if you don't have any students to spread it to.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's like you're there by yourself. Your tribe of one.
And I see that a lot in the industry, so I'm glad you talked about that.
It's all industries.
All industries. Well, that's good to know, at least. A little comforting for some of us. So we like to do some fun questions to end, if that's cool.
Yeah. Give them a ninja technique if you want to. Let me know.
Yes, ninja techniques rock.
Well, you ask the question. We'll line it up.
All right. Favorite martial arts movie?
Oh, that's going to be, I always say Karate Kid. I love it. I love Karate Kid 2 also. That's tough because those Okinawa scenes are amazing.
See, I thought 3 was better than 2.
4 is horrible.
4 is the worst.
I like 2. I'm going to go with 2. I love Bloodsport too, man. I love Bloodsport also.
Nick D's favorite was Karate Kid 1.
Yeah, Karate Kid 1 is my favorite, hero journey story.
Sure.
But Karate Kid 2, I just love those scenes, man.
Nice, man.
Out there. Because he says something in that movie. He says, I won't fight for a plastic medal trophy, but I'll fight for honor. And that's what he did. Remember that?
Yes.
Remember against Santos or whatever? Santos.
That's excellent. All right. So I own a music streaming company also. So what's your favorite song at the moment?
I'm from Jersey, man. I always loved Bruce Springsteen. But I grew up with that stuff, so I love Bruce Springsteen.
We haven't had that answer yet from any of the guys.
But I love Bruce Springsteen.
He's dope.
But I'm a real big Guns N' Roses fan.
Nice.
So if I had to pick a favorite song that would to get me rocking and rolling is I like Welcome to the Jungle. Actually, forget it. Rage Against the Machine.
Rage Against
out
of left field.
Killing in the Name of is one of those. I put it on, a great song. And I go like that. Like that just gets me going. So Killing in the Name of. There's it right there.
Awesome. And
then had that one.
I have not had that one. My brother will love that answer. He's was totally into Rage.
These guys are geniuses. They all went to Harvard. Geniuses.
I didn't know that.
Check it out.
That's awesome, man. So last one, favorite book at the moment.
Favorite book. I have about 4,000 at my house. My favorite book. Oh, I love Mike Tyson's book. Let's get really real. One of the best books I've ever read recently. Undisputed Truth. Mike Tyson's book. One of the best books I've ever read, and here's why. He explains why he was who he was. I mean, when you had that mom he had, I can speak blunt on this. Mm-hmm. I mean, his mom was a prostitute, and he grew up with a mom was a prostitute in the same house as him. It's going to mess you up. I mean, you're biting an ear later in life. We understand why. When Cus D'Amato took him under his wing, and he teaches how Cus made him believe that he was an okay person, took a 13-year-old kid that was on drugs and that had been robbing houses and was like almost close to being a murderer. And he transferred him into becoming the greatest fighter in the world, convinced him he was a Greek god, introduced him to hypnotic language patterns, introduced him to trance, introduced him to, I mean, the book is amazing. It explains the building of Mike Tyson. It also explains the downfall when that man died. So it explains the power of mentoring. So that book is a trip of the things he went through, the crazy way he blew all his money, what to do and what not to do in life. I bought every recommendation that he bought and he read because Mike Tyson's a philosopher. So that book, I know you don't consider boxing a lot of times martial arts, but same skills.
Yeah, same dedication level too to be great at it.
It's the best in the world. Yeah. If he would have been a little more mainstream in his brain, I mean, no one was better than him. Remember growing up with him? I mean, he was the best of the best.
Like a few seconds in, and
6 seconds, you knocked the guy out. I paid for that fight, right? But yes, that book is incredible and worth every second to read, and it is entertaining, powerful, and I mean, it's in the life of one of the best boxer trainers in the world.
That's crazy. I've never heard Mike Tyson be called a philosopher either.
He is a philosopher. Anyone that knows him, because I've met a lot of people that have worked with him before and know, he is an absolute genius philosopher, like on life. Like, I mean, go watch him talk. It's fascinating.
Huh. I'm going to do some more research on that.
Just got some demons, though.
Sure. And then if people that are listening want to follow you and find out more about you, where can they go to do that?
Best way to do that, you can always check me out, michaelbernoff.com. Little gift to everybody listening. I did something, I offered it here to this group. Got a little website, persuasionenhancement.com. It's really cool. It's got a little process called the 4-step process. As a gym owner, if I challenge you to implement that 10-minute video in your practice, do it for a week. There's enough people that I've met this weekend that walked up to me and hugged me, thanked me, bringing their life back, their family back for that one you should watch it yourself. 4-step process. It's a very simple technique, how to never have to sell again and never have to convince anyone of anything in your gym. And it's a simple process that managers, owners, everybody can do. And it's like a game changer. That's the best way to get a hold of me. Persuasionenhancement.com. Awesome. Check that out, and we'll go from there.
10 minutes to change your business completely is amazing.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating how well that works. And not just your business, just your pitch. It explains, like, you stop selling, you stop pitching, because, like, half the martial arts world doesn't want to sell. What do they want to do? They want to train.
Yeah.
You know what? Having the courage to ask for what you want is a battle in itself. And most people aren't willing to turn on their old demons of who they used to be, which is maybe not as weak as you can be. It's hard to call someone weak, but if you can't ask for what you want in life, you're not as strong as you think you are.
Dude, you're amazing.
You are too, man.
So much great stuff. Thank you so much for letting us interview and being our guest. I appreciate it.
Love it. Love it. Rock star, rock on, and congratulations for stepping up. You're inspiring people with this, and as you're listening, man, come back for more, check out the other shows, and subscribe away.
Man, I love that interview with Michael Bernoff. I'm hoping you guys got a lot out of it, just like I did. He's an awesome dude. If you want to get more information on him, sort of like he mentioned, just visit his website. It's michaelbernoff.com. His last name is Bernoff. And look, you can just Google search him too and find the website. Watch some of his YouTube videos. He's a very motivating guy, awesome dude, and has coached tons of businesses. Next, though, we want to get to our segment, the Triple Kick.
And now it's time for the Level Up Lounge Triple Kick.
So we have 3 awesome products that we're going to be reviewing today. The first one, Century Martial Arts. I have to send a big shout out to them. They sent us the Hykso Punch Tracker. Now, I had heard about this, but I had never really used it. Didn't really do too much research into it until it got sent to me. So basically what these are is they are 2 little, almost like USB-sized devices. You put one on your left wrist and one on your right wrist. What I did is I would just simply use a hand wrap and I'd wrap them in there. Or we also even use them where we would actually use athletic tape and just tape it to our glove. Both worked great. And basically what you do is you download an app on your phone or on your tablet, and then the app will connect via Bluetooth to these punch trackers. And I have to say, these things are amazing. I've been using them for at least 5 rounds every single day, doing at least 1-minute rounds, sometimes more than that. And the cool thing is it tracks your punch count. So it'll track your total punch count, but also will split it up between left and right, which is really cool. It tracks your punch speed, so it actually shows your average velocity each round. So that way you can see if you're just working on a single punch, the speed of that punch. You can, if you're working combos, you can sort of see what the velocity is. And then it uses an algorithm to calculate your total intensity for the entire thing. So We actually tested this first, very first round I did. I was just doing jabs, and I'm like, I'm just gonna try and get as many punches as I can in a minute. So I just did a bunch of jabs, and my speed was pretty good, but the intensity score was like under 100, which is really lame because I was trying to beat the system. But then the next round, I went like full out, just worked on a combo the whole time, and that time the intensity score jumped up to like 1,500. So it knows if you're trying to cheat it or not, but it is amazing. One of my favorite aspects of it is it keeps record of all of your training sessions in the app. So pretty much every time I train, I'll look back at my previous scores as far as speed and punch count and intensity, and I'll try and pick one of those to focus on beating. So a lot of times my intensity, I'll try and make sure that that entire round I'm punching nonstop, and it's awesome for endurance and really just helps overall for you to actually have statistics on your punches, which just can take your training to a whole nother level. Again, it's the Hykso Punch Tracker. The website is hykso.com. That's HYKSO.com. Item number 2 on our triple kick segment is the C2 boxing gloves. So this is a product that is sold from Combat Corner. I had the pleasure of meeting and talking to the Combat Corner guys at the Martial Arts Business Summit. They are an awesome group of guys. They know exactly what they're doing. They make really high quality products. The C2 boxing glove is sort of like their entry level boxing glove. And I've been using it for about 3 or 4 weeks now. And it's probably one of the best gloves that I've used. One of the cool things about it is it's got extra padding on it, so you can go ham on the heavy bag, and you're not feeling really any of the punches, which is nice when I'm really focusing on power. I also like them because they air out pretty quickly too. So after I train, I usually will leave them unvelcroed, and then the next day they're good to go by the next morning. There's also a mesh palm on the inside that helps to keep it really nice and airy, which is huge. And one of the biggest issues I have with a lot of gloves that I use is it's really hard to make a fist in some of them. The fist just feels awkward just because of how they're made. With these gloves, though, it is super easy to make a fist and keep a tight fist as you're using it. I've used them with hand wraps, and then I've also just used them with my hands inside without the hand wrap, and both ways they work great. They are also at an amazing price point, especially if you're doing wholesale gloves. So I definitely encourage you guys to check out combatcorner.com. It's the C2 boxing gloves. The ones I got were the black and red ones. I love them. They're going to be my go-to boxing glove from now on. They are awesome, but definitely check them out. And then lastly is Chris Casamassa's B90Z birthday party system. And I know this has been a huge influence on martial arts schools around the country. There are so many schools that are using this and using it well. Basically what it is, it's a done-for-you birthday party system that Chris Casamassa has put together. There's tutorial videos in it that show you actually how to do the different aspects of the birthday party. There's artwork and graphics that are pretty much ready to print. You just have to plug in your information. So there's invitations, and the cool thing about the invitations is they actually include an injury waiver on there, so that way you're good to go with any of the guests that are coming because they'll just sign that. There's also a letter to send prospects after the party to seal the deal on booking them for intros if you haven't done it yet. There's a letter for your current students to sell them on the birthday party experience. So if you're having an issue actually booking birthday parties at your school, that is a great tool that you can use. Then there's also a 3-panel brochure, double-sided, that you can have in your lobby and give out to your students to also help sell the birthday party. And then they have a price sheet that spells out the 3 different packages for parents to choose from. The systems are really simple to use. When you have systems in place, it makes everything incredibly easy for your staff to do, where you don't always have to be the one that's doing all the events at your martial arts school. And that way you can focus more on the business aspect and have a well-trained staff. He even has a really cool process on how to get your next group of staff that's sort of in your farm system to get them ready to throw a birthday party and to do it in a really professional way as well. So there's all sorts of games and everything, class plan. Check it out. I know right now on his website there's a special. The system is usually $4.99. The special right now is it's $2.97, so it's a really good saving. And then he also has a 100% money back guarantee in the first 30 days. So really, why not? but it's getb90z.com is the website, and I encourage you guys to check out the birthday party program there, read some of the testimonials on there, and if you guys have any questions about it, just feel free to hit me up, and I'll sort of tell you our experience with it, but it's a really, really professional, done for you, put together system that's sort of like a no-brainer, especially when there's a money-back guarantee. So those are our 3 items for the triple kick segment.
Triple kick.
So again, big shout out to Century Martial Arts for sending us the Hykso Punch Trackers. They are amazing. Shout out to Combat Corner for hooking us up with some dope boxing gloves that I absolutely love. And we'll have 3 new products on the next podcast that we're going to be testing out, including Century's Sea Gear. We have the Hyper Backpack we're going to be reviewing, and then we have one other product that I'm just waiting to come in before I test it out and give you guys a full review. We also have some video reviews on our website that you guys can check out. It's levelupmymusic.com/blog. Also, 2 weeks ago, we worked on our Love to Level Up week, where we gave away free Parents Night Out kit. We gave away free Instagram images for you to share with your students, different motivational images. We gave away a really cool interactive audio drill that's sort of inspired by the Karate Kid end fight scene at the All Valley Karate Championships. Whole bunch of stuff. If you're looking to access that content still, I have re-uploaded it onto our blog on our Parents Night Out site. So it's levelupactionkits.com. Once you go there, just be sure to click the blog page and you'll see all of the posts from our Love to Level Up week, and you can download all of that content for free. Check it out. And again, if you guys can click subscribe so that way you guys get updated when we do our podcast. We'll have our next one coming out next month. So I'm looking forward to introducing you guys to a new guest that we have lined up for next month's show. And thank you guys for taking the time to listen to this. If you have any comments, questions, email them to lounge@levelupmymusic.com. So again, it's lounge@levelupmymusic.com, and we'll see you guys next month.
levelupmymusic.com.
Level Up Music, the #1 music streaming service for martial arts schools. Get clean, family-friendly, motivating music mixes that your students and parents will love. It's so easy to use. All you need is a phone, tablet, or computer with an internet connection, and you're ready to start streaming. Upgrade the atmosphere in your school. Get started today.